Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox live Q&A. I'm your host, Dr. Darrell Wolfe. Now, before we get started, I just want to say this, okay? If you want truthful, important, life-changing information on what's going out there, what I believe is more truthful than what's on in the media, I would suggest that everyone, because I can't do this anymore. They'll just ban me from Facebook. So I would suggest that you download Telegram. Okay, it's an app. Download the Telegram app. And then when you get there, type in t.me / the Doc of Detox. Okay? So that's t.me / the Doc of Detox. And what you're going to get there is you're going to get all the videos that will just get taken down anyways on Facebook. And I don't want to be taken down on Facebook because I really think it's a really great avenue and a good platform to actually teach and train people how to love, honor, and respect themselves. What do you think? Yeah, I don't want to ruin that. No. So, anyways, we're going to get started right away. And we're going to get started with Jacqueline. Jacqueline, how are you?
Thank you, Dr. Wolfe. I'm fine.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Now, Jacqueline, tell me what's going on. So just to bring you on to speed, Jacqueline, your daughter is how old?
She's 22.
22 years old. And
Yes.
her daughter has a pea-size tumor. Okay, and it's supposedly benign. Okay, and it's on the left side, right, of her brain.
Yes.
Okay, the left lobe.
Yes. They call it insular glioma, small glioma. So.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about your daughter. Okay, first of all.
Yes.
Does your daughter have her own cell phone?
Yes, she has.
Does she hold it up to her head every time she talks to a friend?
Not
yes
so
or no?
much.
Yes or
I
no?
think she used. No.
She doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
So it's on. So it's on the tumor's on her left side. So what hand does she hold her phone with? Her left or right?
Her right hand, I think.
Okay. All right. But you got to make sure that if she goes on her phone, that she cannot put it near her. That it needs to be on speaker, or she needs to have a headset with a wire. She cannot do Bluetooth. If she does,
Okay.
that'll be like throwing gasoline. That'll be like throwing gasoline on the fire for the tumor, and that's when she's going to get in big trouble. Now,
Right.
how old is? How much does your daughter weigh?
How much she weighed? She lost a little weight, but I think she's now. I can only tell you in kilos, but I think she's about 86 kilos.
Okay, all right. Siri, how much is 86 kilos in pounds? It's 189.6 pounds. There's where the tumor comes from. Okay, so just know this. And what is her height? What's her height?
168, I think. 167.
167 in centimeters.
Mm.
Siri, how tall is 167 centimeters in feet? Okay, she's 5 foot 4, 5 inches.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 inches, we'd be looking at maybe 120 pounds, 125 pounds, and we're actually looking at close to 190 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make this perfectly clear. Your daughter, okay, at 22, she has very little self-esteem. She has very little love for herself. She doesn't think she's worthy, because understand something, everybody, before you start throwing tomatoes at me. You don't gain, okay, 65 extra pounds unless you have inflammation. Now, understand this. She's 22. She knows that sugar's not good, flour's not good, dairy's not good. She knows the things that aren't good for her. But what if you were running a hate program on a subconscious level? Well, then on a subconscious level, you'd be trying to kill yourself every day. Now, here's the thing I want everybody to understand. I'm not talking about her personally. I'm telling you that every person that comes on this planet is running a program until they awaken, truly awaken, and they're killing themselves every day. How many people smoke but they know it causes cancer? How many people drink alcohol and know that it poisons you? How many people do vaping? How many people will eat processed foods, sugar products, GMOs? How many people will not drink enough water to hydrate, to detoxify their blood, their tissues, and everywhere else in the body? So your daughter right now at 190 pounds would have to drink what? 1 gallon of water a day, and I guarantee you she only drinks maybe 4 glasses at max.
Yeah, maybe a little more. She's training, but now it's closing, so she's drinking more.
Understand something. When you're around, she's going to do a little more. But when you're not around, because, okay, I want to say this, and I'm telling you, I am right. I have been doing emotional counseling for people since I was 22 years old. That's right. How long is that ago? I'm almost 65. So when I was like only 12 years old, okay, I already could feel when somebody walked in the room, if there was something emotionally off, I could feel their emotional condition way before their physical condition. And understand this, your daughter, if she doesn't learn how to love herself, because there's been some trauma when she was younger, right? Some real trauma in her life.
Yeah, I think it could have been a trauma, yes.
Oh, yes, definitely. And also, with this type of weight gain, okay, you have to understand something. You're not just storing inflammation, you're storing emotion that you cannot process. So here's the deal. The more negative, toxic programs that you run in your mind, the more negative chemicals you pour out, like adrenaline, histamine, cortisol, and believe it or not, it's always dripping in her, dripping. So that inflammation, okay, from these chemicals, because she's fearful, right? Very fearful.
Yeah.
So do you know what happens to people who have very fearful personalities? They burn their brain. Mm-hmm. They get neurological disorders and even tumors. So now we're talking about what? 65 pounds of extra weight? That isn't 65 pounds of weight. That's 65 pounds of inflammation. So between her toxic diet and her toxic thoughts, not evil thoughts, toxic thoughts. You know what? Here's the biggest thing, I have people that will come on my Facebook, and after I've said you've got to learn how to love yourself first and foremost, they will come on and go, well, Dr. Wolfe, this up until now, you know what? I thought you were okay, but I don't want anything to do with you. Okay, I just had that 2 days ago. Okay, I don't want anything to do with you anymore because first it's my God, and it's everybody else in my family, and I put myself last because that's the way that we need to do it. And I'm going, yeah. And that's why 86% of the population has autoimmune disease. That's why 80% of the population is overweight. That's why 40% of the population is obese. Your daughter's obese. And she's obese because she's emotionally crippled first and foremost. And the reality is, does she live with you?
Yes.
If she lives with you, how did she get this big? So there has to be a lot of dysfunction in the family, maybe not now, but when she was younger. And the cupboards and the fridge have to have toxic things in them. So somebody's got to hold the line here.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know what? You already feel bad because you're the mother and because you failed her, which you didn't. Let me tell you something. And this is important for everyone. You did not fail her, Jacqueline. You are a beautiful woman, and I know that. And I know we haven't hardly talked, but the reality is mothers are beautiful. They truly are. And the reality is this. When you became a mother, you didn't even, most women, when they become a mother, they don't even know how to cook. They don't even know how to sew anymore. And I'm not saying that you should know how to cook and sew. That men should know how to do it too, and they don't know how to do it. And the reality is everybody, when you get on this planet, here's your health manual, and that health manual ends up killing you and your children. Here's the standard American diet. Go eat it and kill yourself. Okay. Now I want you to go and make your doctor, a medical doctor that only deals with drugs and surgery, never talks about detox, never talks about the emotion, because guess what? The condition that you're in upstairs is a lot more important than the physical condition, because guess what? Your psychological actually creates your physical. So the size of your daughter, the personality of your daughter is all ruled by the program she runs. Nobody can be held responsible or guilty for the condition your daughter is in. But going forward, your daughter must take responsibility in learning how to love and honor, respect herself. But what would happen if Jacqueline's mother actually honored, loved, and respected herself starting this moment, and only brought into the house the perfect day diet that I talk about in my perfect day guide? What would happen if she did that? You wouldn't have to say anything. No, sweetheart, this is all we're going to eat. And if you want anything else, then you can go out and use it with your own money and do whatever you want. But I do not want to be responsible for you getting sick. So our house will become a total love zone, health zone. We will wipe our mind off at the door, and we will only bring in foods that vibrate high, and that's it. 190 pounds. Right. She's lucky if she doesn't have, well, right now we know that her pelvis is totally inflamed. We know that. We know that it is, okay? You can't be 65 pounds overweight and not be putting garbage into your mind and into your mouth. It's impossible. It's impossible. And we know that she has mood swings. And on those mood swings, when she gets really depressed or fearful, she's going to starve herself and not drink any water, because when you don't like something, you don't water the plant, you just let it die. Oh my God, did that one die too? So the reality is, how do we teach people that it's okay to let yourself off of the hook for everything you think you've done wrong, and which she believes that she's failed somewhere in life here? Because all of these pounds, okay, her body has become a luggage rack for all of the stuff that she can't process properly.
Right.
Right. What do you think?
I think you're right about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
About most of it, yes. She's lost a lot of weight now, I want to say that, and she's even eating healthier than me. But she's been obese most of her younger life, how you can say it, from 12 and up, since she's been with her dad. She's been eating a lot of unhealthy food there, and it just came rolling, you know.
When did the weight start to come on, Jacqueline?
The weight started come on about when she was about 9.
Okay, so what happened?
Like
what happened when she was 7 and 8?
I don't know what happened exactly, but you know, her father and me, we divorced.
When?
So maybe.
How old was she?
She was smaller than she divorced, but you know, like 1.5 years, 2 years. But
okay.
You know, he wasn't taking her at the time like he's supposed to. You know, when you have a child, you have to see her every second weekend or something like that.
When did he start seeing her?
He abandoned her many times, so she felt abandoned.
Oh, well, there you go. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. So
he
now
didn't
we
keep
know.
His deals.
Pardon?
He didn't keep his.
Well, that is a lot of men do that. I won't say most, but a lot do. And the reality is that you need to know how to talk to her now. Now, how would that be? So what's your daughter's name?
Angelia, but we call her Angie.
So Angie, I'll be you for a second, okay? Angie, you need to understand something, okay? Your father loves you the most that he's capable of. Your father can only love you as much as his beliefs will allow that. And that's what makes us all different, Angie, is as I was raised by different parents, just as he was raised by different parents. And whether we want to believe this or not, whether we say that we're like our parents or not, we are until we decide to go in and retrain our brain and to get rid of dysfunctional beliefs. It's called the family curse. Your father doesn't work on himself emotionally, okay? So he will only treat you the way that he was treated, and he won't treat you any better. And it's not because he doesn't love you 100%. His 100%, it tops out here where other people may be way up here. So, you can take it on that, who in the hell would love you, Angie? Or you can take it on that that's all your father is capable of, loving himself, and then learning, Angie, how to fill up your own heart with love completely. Because, Angie, me and your father have taught you something. We taught you when you first came here that it was unconditional love. You were able to look in the mirror, look at yourself, smile, fall in love with yourself, like totally, because that's what babies are, totally in love with themselves. Everything that's happening around them, they think that they've created it because, yeah, they partially did. But the reality is when you started walking and talking, you started acting like your father and me, and that's why you are adulterated and dysfunctional. It's gonna be up to you, Angie. Excuse me. Take a drink. It's gonna be up to you, Angie, to understand something. To try to see if you can love us totally, okay, and unconditionally, because that's how you will heal yourself. But the reality is that you've got to get rid of any of the dysfunctional beliefs that I have taught you, because that's what parents are. They're adulterated. They're adults. So I need you to really take a look at beliefs that me and your father taught you that are undermining your health, okay? And I need you to help me, Angie, to learn how to love and respect and honor myself. And then we will support each other and guide each other, because, Angie, religion teaches you should not love yourself first and foremost. You need to basically, nail yourself up on the cross. And the reality is society teaches us to be a survivor, not a thriver. And the reality is that we always have been taught since we got here that everybody is responsible for filling up our broken heart. Now, Angie, if you could ever totally just honor, respect, and love yourself totally and not need love from me or your father, but shine that beauty that you have inside of you and shine that on the world, you will become the gift. And the only way that you'll become the gift is if you learn how to live in the present moment and watch that subconscious mind when it says eat cookies, when it says, you're fat, when it says you're unworthy, when it says who in the hell would love you. All that is just a dysfunctional program. If you could learn how to love yourself no matter where you're at right now, and totally just keep on loving yourself and work on Braveheart, like, no, I got this. I'm already healthy. I'm already the weight that I like. I got this. I'm going to smile. No, I approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. No, that's not true. That's the old me. I am not overweight. Okay? All I am is over toxic because I've been holding on to too much stuff. Let me tell you something. Children will always suppress their emotions because parents are not open-minded. And they're not. They're not open-minded. The day that we understand that when you're 22, she's always going to be your child, but she's an adult. And I got to tell you something. If my kids were to say, Dad, go F yourself, I'd go, what did I do to make you say that? I love you. And then I'd try to get to the bottom of it. Understand, if you don't learn how to love and respect and honor yourself, and if you do not bring up the level of your eating, she looks up to you. So understand. And at the same time, I need to tell you that you're not responsible for her being overweight. But the reality is, every time that somebody gets a disease, every time that somebody's overweight, okay, it's all just a program. And we don't take it personal. And it's like, wow, you've got an overweight program, Angie. That's it. And you know what? The other thing is whether you believe this or not, Jacqueline, do you know why she's so big? Okay? And you got to get over this one. She has to.
Yeah.
Because now she's created extra bumpers because life hurts her all the time. She's very sensitive. Her heart gets broken a lot. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. Let's keep going. So now, if my heart gets hurting a lot, I want to create a big bumper because, and also, guess what? If I put on all this weight, then I don't have to worry about getting into relationships as much. Okay, I don't. And then I'll hide out here. So understand something. We can try to work on the physical, but you didn't get rid of the program that created the weight program.
Right.
So you need to get that. And that tumor, it's just a P, thank God. But the reality is, okay, we got to make sure that the Wi-Fi is turned off at night. You got to make sure that she's not on a computer, on her phone, getting lots of blue light. Why is that? Because understand something. People don't get it. Just because everybody's doing it. My God, everybody goes into a shower, which is actually what? It's a gas chamber. Unless you have structured water unit on there, then what happens is the chlorine and the fluoride, they vaporize and go into your lungs and your brain. So what do you think happens when your daughter's on her phone, her daughter's on the computer, watching TV, and she already has a pea-sized tumor in her brain? What do you think happens? She's firing up her brain. Now, why do people get eye disorders and burning eyes and floaters in their eyes and cataracts and glaucoma and detached retina and macular degeneration? Is because the blue light, because your eyes don't see and your ears don't hear. Did you know that? Your ears pick up Your ears pick up a frequency, and your brain then takes the frequency and gives you the sound. Your eyes pick up the light and the frequency, and then guess what? It gives you the picture. And the picture you're not seeing in your eyes, you're actually seeing it in your brain. Isn't that something? So the reality is, all of the eye disorders and the burning eyes is all caused because of blue light. And blue light will cause dementia. It'll cause stroke, aneurysms, and it'll cause tumors in your brain. And that's a fact.
Wow.
So she's being poisoned.
Yeah.
So she's also poisoning herself. Because if you were to actually get her to say, okay, Angie, how much do you love yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? If she was honest, we'd be striking about a 2. I wanted to say 3, but I'm picking it up. And whether people want to believe it or not, I am not a psychic, but I pick up on people. Somebody can walk into my office, and even Sean, he's the video guy, and he'll tell you that give me 30 seconds, I already got their game. I already got what's going on. And I've been able to do this since I was 8 years old. My father was a pastor, and he baptized me the second time when I was 12 years old because he wanted to get the devil out of me. So understand something. When we start feeling, because on this planet, it's all about emotions. If you don't master your emotions, it's hell on earth. And on this planet, you got to feel your way through, because you can't think your way through at the beginning because you don't have a mind that thinks right. And I'm telling you right now, only 1 out of 10,000 people will ever awaken on this planet. Only 1 out of 10,000 people know how to stay in the present moment. I am in the present moment all the time. Because it's the only place you can heal. It's the only place you can lose weight. It's the only place that you can create. And if you're not in the present moment, you can't be in 2 time zones at once. You can't be in the past. You can't be in the future. You got to be here. So yes, I've got lots of projects going on. If people hang out here, you're going to see what my year looks like right now. Okay, COVID schmovid. Okay, well, I'm living life as big as I would if this scamdemic wasn't even here. I'm still living the same life that I would. Big, awesome. So you got to get your daughter to find her purpose, to find her passion. You got to keep on telling her, you know what? You are a beautiful girl. And you know what? You cannot wait for someone to come and tell you how beautiful you are, because you've got to do that. You got to make the change inside to see everything change outside. There are people right now, Jacqueline, that are thinking about suicide. Okay? The suicide in North America has gone up 3 times if we were to average it out. And guess who it is? It's from 18 to 23 is the most that are doing it. And you know why? Because there's nothing to live for. COVID's the end of the world. And you know what? I don't want to hate anyone, but I will tell you that these people that have made this fake pandemic, okay, fake, it's fake. Pandemic, I don't know where the justice is, but the reality is, don't you think that this doesn't play on her? How many dates will I go on? Will I ever fall in love? Will I ever get to travel the world? You know, they haven't even started to live yet. And so, Mom, are you telling her, Jacqueline, that this thing will be a blessing in the end? Because guess what? The world wasn't going down a good path anyway. And with this, it's made everything stop, and it's made us rethink things. And when they get all done vaccinating the maskers, because they're not going to vaccinate me, they're going to vaccinate the weak people that live in fear, because the people that live in fear, they're just going, vaccinate me so I can get my life back. Vaccinate me. But those people, before even COVID, they lived in fear. So look at people that people that are fearful now, they're just running the same program before COVID. So the reality is, if we could just get people to wake the heck up and understand, do you know what makes Darrell Wolfe? Okay, Darrell Wolfe is just a name. This is just a rental. This body is a rental, and I've been looking after it, okay? Better now. I used to smoke, I used to toke, I used to drink, I used to do it all. I did drugs, I did it all. So the reality is I've been down that road. But here's the deal. This is my temple. This is where my spirit is housed. You've got to talk to your daughter on a new level. That she needs to feed her spirit. Jacqueline, do you believe... Okay, let me ask you a question, Jacqueline.
Yes?
Would you like your daughter to love herself 10%, 90%, 40%? What kind of percentage would you like your daughter to love herself? What do you think would be good for her?
She should love herself 100%.
Then why aren't you doing it?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because guess what, Jacqueline? Because you don't deserve it. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I'll tell you why. Because you were programmed that totally loving yourself is a sin. And let me tell you something. The same church that taught that are the sinners. So understand something. If you looked up sin, it means missing the mark. Big deal. You missed the mark. I will never, ever, no matter what my children do, I will never hold a grudge. I will never put them in judgment jail. I will not disrespect them. I will sit down and talk like a loving human being to them and ask them why they did what they did to me or to someone else, or why they did this, or why they're hurting themselves. Understand something. That is not a justice system out there. It's a judgment system. And parents are doing the same judgment system. What your daughter needs is she needs to really be able to trust you, be able to sit down with you and feel that you admire her and that there's so much more in her and that you got her back and that you work for her. I work for you, sweetheart. I might be your mother, but guess what? You teach me beautiful things, and you have taught me so many things, Angie, and I love you for that. And we need to even get closer together so we can support each other and become the dream team. I know you're her mother, but stop being her mother. Be her friend. And help her find her gift that she can give to the world. So let's talk about it. So what is she eating?
Right now, she's eating, she's on a diet. She eats brown pasta, but she weights it.
Whoa. 1 second. She eats pasta.
Brown
it doesn't matter.
Pasta.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if you give her black pasta. Pasta's pasta. Now, what you have to do is you have to take something and grind it down into a powder. Okay, so pasta, I don't care if you're taking it from ancient grains. It's healthier than white pasta, but you would never give that to somebody who is 65 pounds overweight. It still causes inflammation in the body. No pasta.
Okay.
Why isn't she eating Grains. Why? Because she's addicted. One second. She's addicted to flour, and she's addicted to sugar because she has fungus in her. There's no such. Did you ever look at pasta when you cook it? It's limp, isn't it? And it swells up, right? Limp and it swells up. Right. Would you like your daughter to swell up? Oh, well, she already has swollen up. Oh, would you like your daughter to be limp? Oh my God, she already is. She's tired all the time, isn't she?
She is tired.
Oh, please, you can't carry. Look, I'll tell you what I'm going to do, okay? I know you're all the way in England, but what I want you to do is I want you to go and take 65 pounds of rock, put them into a knapsack, and I want you to walk around tomorrow.
I don't think so.
Well, there we go, eh? So pasta is off the table if she wants to. She's not going to, she's, okay. She's not 65 pounds overweight. She's 65 pounds over inflammation on an emotional and physical level.
Mm.
Okay. What else does she eat?
In the morning, she eats oats with...
1 second. Oats are acidic and they cause purines. Do you know what purines cause? Okay, uric acid. Do you know what uric acid causes? Nerve inflammation for people who are already inflamed. Whoever put this diet together isn't even a dietitian, nutrition. They don't even know what they're talking about. This is the terrible diet. Terrible diet.
Wow. And
what
then
else?
like oats is always what everybody eats who is
I don't okay, one second. Did you hear what you just said? You said everybody. And guess what? I'm going to tell you something. When the herd are going to invest something, it's too late. When the herd tell you that it's really great, it isn't. Understand, the world is controlled by the elite psychos and the draconian reptilians, whatever they are. And the reality is, okay, I want you to say this back to me. I am never going to do what the majority do again.
I will never ever do what the majority do again.
Because the majority are actually unconsciously killing themselves.
Because the majority is unconsciously killing themselves.
Thank you very much, because only 86% of the population is dying of a disease in North America right now. Right. And understand something, oats are acidic. When somebody has lost the weight, when somebody isn't so acidic, we can put them on the oats. The body can handle that. But when your daughter has so many physical blocks in her joints, and she has so much pain throughout her body, those are all beaver dams. And you don't want these purines from the oats getting stopped by blockages. You can't be 65 pounds overweight and not have what? Speed bumps. Okay. So, what else does she eat?
She eat fruit. She eat
okay. So
eggs.
So here's the deal.
Cooked eggs.
Okay. Yeah, but okay. Make sure she doesn't do hard-boiled eggs, and that's one thing. She'll never digest them. The next thing is why don't you take a look at my Perfect Day diet in my Perfect Day guide, and then okay, that's the diet she should be on, honest to God, and she needs to be cleansing her colon and her liver, okay, and she also needs to drink a gallon of water a day. Hopefully it's structured. Get a structure unit. Now, here's the thing. She should not be eating fruit. She should be doing blender drinks of berries, high in antioxidants. And if she wants, she could use oat milk or she could use almond milk. And if she wants, she probably won't want to do it, but she could put 1 or 2 raw eggs in there. And what happens is when you cook eggs, you get about 17 to 19% of the amino acid protein. When it's raw and you put it into a blender with your berries and you mix it with almond milk, it makes it thicker like a milkshake. If it was strawberries, it'd be like a strawberry milkshake. And you're getting 70% of the delivery of the amino acids. So it's so efficient. So understand, when your daughter's ready, okay, to go find her authentic self, then she's going to have to go on a high vibrational diet. Not cooked food. And it can't be processed. The oats are processed. The spaghetti is processed. I mean, the noodles are processed. She must go directly to nature to find the love she needs. Nature. Man cannot touch it. Anything that man has touched and manipulated will keep the weight on her. We don't want her to have a weight program, do we? We want her to have what? The perfect day. So we need to teach her emotionally, get her to look at the 4 pillars of loving herself. It's called the 4 pillars. It's in my library. Click on the guide. She can go in there and look at it. Get her to look at the perfect day diet in the perfect day guide, and then start doing the perfect day exercises to open up her pelvis, to really start, because where your energy comes from is your core, which is your abdomen. And her abdomen is flabby. So unless she's going to get toned back into her abdomen, she's not going to bring up her energy, is she? And that means that the dead food she eats is going to rot inside her pelvis, which she's going to end up with ovarian cysts or endometriosis or bladder problems, painful periods, or a tumor.
She already have that.
Well, of course, and I didn't want to say that because I don't be so cocky, but the reality is, guess what? She had that. Okay, first of all, you get the brain inflammation, and then you get the pelvic inflammation. That's the way it always goes. There is nobody that doesn't have a disease that doesn't have pelvic inflammation. Everybody has it. And understand something. When you've got pelvic inflammation, you have gut-brain disconnection, which means you can't think straight. It means you've been dumbed down. Because understand something. When your pelvis is inflamed and when your large intestine, the good bacteria in your large intestine, which is 85% of your immune system, gets adulterated, then the communication from the bacteria is toxic information. That goes into the spinal column and to the brain, and it causes everything to go upside down and backwards. So when we tell someone, oh my God, why do you think like that? Why do you act like that? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Well, I don't know. Why don't you stop bringing in all the toxic food? And why don't we have it would be really great if the people around her actually showed her the way by totally loving themselves and saying, hey, you know what? It's totally cool to love yourself. Stop judging yourself. And I'm telling everybody right now, and I don't care what anybody thinks. You stop judging yourself and you don't let anybody else judge you, because guess what? Judgment causes you to burn. And when you observe and say, wow, I could have done that better, maybe I should apologize, then we learn instead of burn, and we move on. Do you know how many people, how many children today are suicidal, or they're alcoholics, or they're drug addicts because they feel that they were judged so harshly and they're not good enough, so they do other things to become somebody else, or because I'm not good enough to just be me, so I'll do drugs, I'll do alcohol, I'll eat myself to death. Okay, I'll make everybody happy. All right, I'll get the hell out of here. I'll just eat myself to death. And we'll overeat and we'll eat toxic food. And don't tell me she does. I mean, we know that we're eating something that's not alive. The reality is now what are you going to do, Jacqueline? Because your daughter Angie is so addicted to flour and sugar. And you know why? Because unless you're going to love yourself, you're not dumping dopamine and serotonin into your body, which is like joyful. You know, I'll dump dopamine and serotonin all day long, and I don't give a crap what the crisis is out there or in here. I'm going to love this guy. I am not going to, no matter who it is that's suffering in my family, I am not going to get on the cross for anybody and bleed. I am going to say, hey, I'm here, I'm alert, I'm awake, I got energy, I'm here to help you. Are you ready to take action? So that's how it is, because this is the deal. We have been taught by many systems that if you do this, you need to suffer this long. If you do this, you should suffer that long. And I say, bugger off. Bugger off. I'm not suffering for nothing. If I make a mistake, I'll learn, I'll correct it, I'll apologize. But don't ask me to apologize for failing or making a mistake, because we have to fail at something 10,000 times before we perfect it. Now, does your daughter feel like a genius? Does she feel like that she is special? Does she feel like she's smart? Does she feel like you got her back?
I don't know if she feels special, but I think she knows I got her back.
Okay, but understand something. You got to make her understand that There'll never be another one like her on the planet. And everybody that comes to this planet, they need to learn how to be in the present moment and connect to their spirit and then shine that light on the world so we can heal the world. We can't have fearful, broken people or the world will end again. We've got to bring up the vibration on the world so that these scumbags quit sucking off of us. And that's what they do. You know, they milk us up. They treat us like we're cattle. That's why they call us the herd. That's why they say it's harvest time, because first they milk us for all our money and energy, and then they send us to the butcher. So understand, if we don't wake up, this is going to continue, and it's been going on since the beginning of time. All people have to do is just learn how to love and respect themselves and honor themselves first and foremost, and making their family also understand it. They need to be loved and respected. And then we're going to do that with our family. So the reality is you can't give what you're not. So if your daughter doesn't love and respect herself, she's not going to be able to do that in relationships. Every relationship is going to be a broken one. Do you get this? Right. Now, we just talked about what I believe to be the main thing. So, but go take a look at the perfect day. If she gets on that diet, and then the other thing is she's going to have to change what? You will never lose weight if you hang around with the same people, usually, if you do the same things. You've got to change your routine. You got to change what you watch, what you do, what you think, what you drink, who you hang around with. Because I'll tell you something, birds of a feather flock together, and people that are fearful and weak hang around with fearful and weak people. Like, you're not going to catch me in a biker's bar cranking heroin. Do you understand? I am going to go where the vibration is higher than me or as high as me so that I can stay there and I can have that amazing, unlimited potential life that we all should have. So if we're not willing to change our routine, if we're not willing to change our personality, there will be no reality of getting rid of this tumor. Now, if I had this problem, and I'm not going to go into all the products, but if you ever want to call me, I'll tell you what they are that I would take. Like, I would have her on the calcium ion therapy, all right, which is the Marigen if I could afford it, because that'll be amazing for her brain. I'd also have her on, we call it Amazing Magenta. It is actually C60 made out of coconut oil, and it is 1,000% stronger than intravenous vitamin C. So what do you think that'll do for her? I'd also have her doing things like Tummy Love, daily cleansing tea. I would have her doing like the ultimate coffee enema. All right, and then I'd get her a belly button because when you do the belly button therapy, you can release 70% of your serotonin and 50% of your dopamine. So now she's not getting high on the adrenaline. Okay, now she can get high and peaceful and heal with the serotonin and dopamine if she does the belly button therapy, and then have her start clapping those areas of her body that she feels blocked. And then have her start skin brushing her body to really get to love her body and start stroking it. Okay, you can take a look at my do-it-yourself videos in the do-it-yourself guide on the library. But here's the deal. Be patient with her. And whatever you want her to do, why don't you start doing it? Because you know what children do not like, whether they're adults or not? Stop telling me what to do. You're not even doing it yourself. Why don't you grow up? Why don't you grow up? Yeah, well, it's very hard to find parents that are grown up. Most parents are always having temper tantrums, and they don't get along together, do they, very well? That's because people haven't learned how to fill up their own heart, so they make everyone else in the family responsible for helping their broken, empty heart. And I'll tell you something. This is the way it is. And I'm not going to argue or fight with anyone. I've been doing this for 40 years. So when people say to me, Dr. Wolfe, you don't know what the heck you're talking about, this love stuff, you don't know what you're talking about, I understand. When the majority of the population is unconsciously, subconsciously killing themselves, why would they want to embrace living life fully? They don't have a program for it. Right. How have I done?
You done perfect.
All right. Well, you're perfect too. Understand, if your daughter ever wants to get on with me, I'll go on Skype with her and you, and we'll have a loving talk. There's no charge. I will do this for her and tell her that, you know what? She's a beautiful soul, and all I want her to do is to what? Is to find her wings and fly. And understand something. She's good enough. She is enough. She doesn't need anyone else to totally love and honor and respect herself. And when you totally do that, you can't help but be healthy and the proper weight. When you are carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and when you can't process the negative programs that you're running, then you need luggage racks and you need suitcases. And that's the roles she's building. And those are the bumpers to keep people further away from her because she's hurt all the time.
Right.
Okay.
You're so right.
Thank you. All right. So if you want, ask her if she'd like to talk to me. And if she does, we'll do a Skype. Okay, love?
Yes, I would like to do that. I will ask her.
Thank you for joining me.
We're going to talk anyway.
Pardon?
I said we're going to talk anyway. If she doesn't talk, I will talk to you.
All right, sweetheart. You have a beautiful day.
You too.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
You can cut the tumor out, but if you didn't erase the belief that created it, it's coming back. And that's the deal. Okay? So I am doing a masterclass called the Emotional Intelligence, okay? And it's all about the brain. It's all about the brain. Before you have inflammation anywhere in the body, before you have a disease anywhere in the body, you have been burning your brain up with inflammatory thoughts and beliefs. And that's the deal. Okay? Let's keep moving on. We're going to get back to the show here. Send in your live questions. We've got some here. This is all I can take, okay, for today. That's on here. I got 45 questions on here. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing a live demo too before. What's the live demo? Doesn't matter. It's another one. We got another demo, and they're from Europe, right? I think they are. Yeah, they're from Europe. And anyways, we'll do another live demo. We start at 9:30. We'll go to about 9:30 to 10 with the demo. And then from 10 until 10:30, we're going to answer questions. I'm going to try to finish them all. I know this took longer, but guess what? She's 22. She's a beautiful spirit, and she deserves to have a chance to have a beautiful life. Thank you for your patience. Okay? All right. So don't send in your questions because we've got enough. And everybody, when I talk about things, you'll see links at the end of the show. Okay? All right? And I'm going to go through this quickly. Today is January the 5th at 5 p.m. We are on part 8 of Unleash the Power to Heal Masterclass. And it finishes on January the 16th. I don't need that. Okay, Wednesday of this week, January the 6th, I've got a live doc demo Q&A, which is tomorrow morning, okay, at 9:30? 9:30. At 9:30. And then Wednesday, January the 6th at 3 p.m., we've got predictions through cycles with Peter Temple. And I'll tell you something. Did that show ever blow up? If you want to know how we are actually, our lives are actually really influenced by the planets, by the universe itself, he shows it, goes back thousands of years. If you never watched part 1 and part 2, we did that last week, right? It was on Saturday and Sunday, not last week. Go to YouTube and you'll be able to see that, okay? All right? Wednesday, January the 13th, New Year's exclusive with Del Bigtree. He's going to see Trump tomorrow, okay? Then he's going to be coming back and sharing everything with everybody, what he believes. That's Del Bigtree from The High Wire. And that'll be 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thursday, January the 14th, I'm going to be doing an hour-and-a-half show, okay? Water fasting challenge. And that's at 10 o'clock, though, right? That's 10 o'clock.
Yeah, every show's 10 a.m.
Yeah. What we're doing, everybody, is every show we're moving it to 10 a.m. We have had probably, hundreds of requests, from overseas, people in Europe. They want to watch the show. So we're going to take all the 3 p.m. shows and we're putting them back into 10, okay? So on Thursday, January the 14th, I am doing an hour-and-a-half show, and that show is basically going to be going over how to do an advanced water fasting challenge for 6 days, okay? Then January the 14th, okay, wait, no, she did that twice. Yep. Then on Tuesday, January the 19th, Doc of Detox live Q&A. My next live Q&A won't be till January the 19th. I will do one tomorrow, but then next week I am doing an advanced training for people on how the mind causes issues in the tissues and how to actually pull apart tumors. And I'm doing an online training around the world for some practitioners. So I'm going to be tied up next week. I will come on and do some one-a-days though. Wednesday, January the 20th, 5G smartphone toxicity with Magda Havas. She is the head person when it comes to 5G and electronic smog, okay, on the planet, okay? And that'll be Wednesday, January 20th, and then Thursday, January the 21st, okay, at 10 p.m., okay, in the morning, we will be doing a live Q&A on Thursday. Friday, January the 22nd, at 10 o'clock in the morning, I will be with Peter Webb, who actually has created the most powerful crystal energy to deal with Wi-Fi and all the other electronic smog, okay? There you go. At the end, I'll go over some other things about all the courses we're doing. Well, let me just say this. I'll make it quick. I've got a conference in Mexico City, okay? I'm actually lecturing for the World Anti-Aging Association in Mexico City, February the 12th, Friday, March the 26th, 27th, and 28th. Okay, guys, that is my advanced whole life mind and body masterclass, and you can take it. It's an online course. If you want to learn about your emotions, nutrition, detox, 3 days with me, 26, 27, and 28. And then I'm off to Ecuador. I'll be lecturing in Ecuador to 300 doctors on April the 8th and 9th and 10th. It's a 3-day intensive with them. And then I'm going to be going to Colombia and doing the same thing. And then I'm coming back to Mexico. And guess what? In Mexico, we will be in Playa del Carmen Monday, April the 26th for a 21-day New World Practitioner course. You can come just for the whole life for 8 days, or you can come for the 8 days for the whole life certification, and then the Wolfe Non-Surgical, which is the most powerful body work, and I will put that up against any other body work in the world. We are the only ones that I know of that offer a money-back guarantee, even if you're going to surgery, that you're not going to go. I hope you get this. It's all about scar tissue. It's all about displaced calcium. It's all about crystallization. So that will be April the 26th to May the 16th, and we are doing it in the most beautiful spot. There's a 100-acre place. They have the 6,000 square foot building that is so beautifully done. Like, it is so zen and so wonderful. And everybody will be picked up every day and brought there and then taken back. We're going to giving you about 3 different options where you want to stay. We're also going to have organic food served at every lunch if you'd like to come. They have 10 cenotes, which, if you know what a cenote is, it's where the water comes up from underneath and you have all this crystalline in the water, and it's just beautiful. And they have also underground caves and rivers right on the property in a waterfall. So that's where we're teaching our course in Playa del Carmen. We are not putting it off any longer. So if you've always wanted to have the adventure of a lifetime and learn the most powerful training, come and see us. The next course that we have available, because all our courses are full all the way in Kelowna, is not until June 5th. And we already have 6 people already booked. So we're only going to be taking 6 more, and that's it. So let's begin the show. Sin. Dr. Darrell Wolfe. I am 65 years old. body cage and rods in my back, okay? So she's got a body cage. Now what that means, she's got 2 rods in her back on either side of her spine, and then the wires come across, which I'm telling you, that's called a torture rack. Oh, here we go. Do you see? I am in pain a lot, no doubt. You can't put 2 steel rods in, wires coming across. Understand something. Look at. I know that surgery has saved someone in your family, but I'm telling you right now that 99% of all surgery is needless. And understand something. If you go to a surgeon, he's not going to say, go see Dr. Wolfe. He's got a money-back guarantee, and he'll be able to reverse that through diet, nutrition, and through Wolfe Non-Surgical. He's going to go, I'll keep an eye on that for you, and then when it gets bad enough, he's going to go in and cut you. If you don't change, nothing changes. If you don't change, nothing changes. And if you go to a surgeon, don't ask him to send you to someone else. He only knows what he knows. And guess what? So don't blame him. Don't blame him. If you go to a drugstore, do you go to buy nutritional supplements? No. You don't think that you can go to a doctor and not get prescription drugs. Don't think you can go to a surgeon and not get surgery. Let's not you know what? We just don't think. Do you know that? We don't think anymore. We are so programmed. Really. Okay, so one day off, going overboard on cleaning, I started hurting my joints, but mostly my feet and ankles. Well, that's because what happens is when you're in pain, you are fearful and you are contracting and you are dumping adrenaline and cortisol. And guess what? That causes crystallization. And when you've got bad circulation, because my God, don't you think that those rods in her spine and coming across aren't a dam? It's damming the whole thing up. Her whole energy supply has just been like blocked. Listen, when you have something done like that, you better be doing a perfect day diet. You better be doing exercises that lengthen, strengthen, detox, and tone, not contracting. And you can't push yourself. And until you bring down the acidity, until you bring up the alkalinity, until you're drinking structured water, doing at least a 90% weight volume, fresh, raw, and organic, okay, you're going to be in trouble for the rest of your life. It's going to be hell. And I'm not lying to you. I'm telling you the God's truth. Unless you want to take drugs and numb yourself out so you don't feel the pain, and then you can't feel your way through life either, can you? You become a zombie. Okay, is there any way you could explain what I can do to help with this ongoing pain? Thank you for your kindness and have a blessed day. Let me just say this much, okay? I mean this in the best way. Don't waste your money. Get a consultation, which I'll give you a money-back guarantee. It's $150, and you can go and click on consultation on my website, Doc of Detox, and understand something. We're going to do an hour. You're going to fill out a case history. That comes to me. I go over that with one of my master consultants. Then they're going to take an hour and they're going to build a strategy from the minute you wake up in the morning until you go to bed. You're going to fill out the case history first. That comes to us. We discuss it. Then they're going to send you an audio so that you have a strategy. And then guess what? You've got a cheerleading team. My extension is number 5. I'm not shy. You call me. You call the person that did the consult, whether it was Tara, whether it was Mary, whether it was Karen, whether it was Dean. I've got lots of master consultants, and you just pick the one you like. And remember something, I'm giving you money back. So at the end of the day, if you really wanted to, you get the consult and then get your money back. Wouldn't that be cool? The reality is that, we have people that do that. But the reality is this. We offer this because we want you to know that you're amazing and your body's amazing. Get rid of all the BS out there. Start learning how to love and honor yourself. And what you put into your mouth, if it's higher vibration, it's going to kick everything out that's lower vibration. It's just math. That's the math. Okay? So I would love to go and tell you all the things you can do, but I would tell you to dive into my library and go take a look at the Perfect Day Guide. I would tell you to look at the A to Z Wellness Guide. It's a free masterclass still. And go and watch the 2 hours that Sean put together. It's a masterpiece. And just go and watch that. It'll blow your brain. And then go watch How to Become Number 1 at the Art of Number 2. And then you're going to come back to me and go, yeah, Guess what, Dr. Wolfe? You're right. If I don't have a strategy from the minute I wake up until I go to bed, then all I'm doing is throwing Band-Aids on it and kicking the living crap out of myself all day. Let me tell you something. I already told you, they gave you a manual to destroy you. And we're going to give you a manual to restore you. And if you can believe it or not, is anybody else giving you a money-back guarantee? I don't think so. Brenda, Dr. Wolfe, just wondering, what is the best treatment for liver cirrhosis? Okay, well, understand something. Liver cirrhosis is mainly scar tissue in the liver. So I would be getting the cork out of your bum and getting on the daily cleansing tea, Tummy Love, Black Gold, getting on the Perfect Day diet and eating a fresh and raw organic diet, and then drinking structured water and taking a look at the things in life that trigger you to dump adrenaline and cortisol. What are you fearful of? Because understand something. If you're not an alcoholic, are you a sugar junk addict? Because you could have a cirrhosis liver just even because of that. But the main thing with a junk addict is they have a fatty liver, right? We have children that are 8 years old that already have a fatty liver. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all the sugar and the flour. Okay, that's why they have the kiddie meal is to get your kids ready to be alcoholics. That's what the kiddie meal's for. They created the kiddie meal so that they would jack up your kids. Ugh. You settle down or I'll slap you so much. Yeah, adulterated. That's what they call it. That's what parents are. They're adulterated. I'm not saying all parents. I'm just saying 99.9%. Because the reality is, until you're awake, you don't know that you were asleep, because the reality is no pig knows that they're rolling around in their own poo because all the rest of the people are doing it. And that's the deal. Once you wake up and you found out that these are beautiful little spirits here that have come to us to be our guides, you know that? We have children to hope. The reason why we have children usually is to fill up our little broken heart. The reality is these little spirits come in and they become our mirror to try to teach us on how to love ourselves. Isn't that something? Go figure. Okay, that's not working out too good. All right, so cirrhosis. I try to eat healthy. She tries. You can't try. You can't bring in foods that you know are causing the cirrhosis. You bring in foods that cause the cirrhosis, it's only going to get worse. You can't try. Trying is lying. That's what I say. You got to do it. You're not allowed to have junk food. You're not allowed to drink alcohol. You're not allowed to do anything that's toxic in your house. You have to get out of your house, get in your car, and you got to go out and get it, and then you're going to do it in the car or do it in go for a walk or go somewhere else. But keep your home a health zone. That's the first thing. Now, I try to eat healthy. I'm pretty active. I've had hundreds of blood transfusions. I'm sure you have. Okay? And understand, those can stop anytime too. But guess what? What about the high vibrational diet? What about the juicing? What about the lemon, cayenne, and honey in hot water? What about getting the cork out of your bum and what about doing the ultimate coffee enema? Okay? You need to get a consult. I apologize, but if I were to go through everybody here what they needed, you know what people would do? They'd come on my Facebook and go, oh my God, well, he'll just shut up about products. All he does is say he's going to help us, and then he talks about products the whole time. So this is why I don't want to even pick them up, okay? I will say them, and I will pick them up the odd time, but we're just going to keep them here today because I'm running behind. I'm pretty active. I've had hundreds of blood transfusions. Now I'm on my iron. And understand, you'll never get enough iron until your good bacteria are healthy again. Your good bacteria are responsible for iron, and that's why people are always having to take iron. And if you look at it, like I've stated, is your large intestine is 85% of your immune system. And if you don't want to look after your bacteria, then you're not going to be looked after at all. Why do you think that, guess what? Doctors don't do it on purpose, but guess what? They keep on throwing antibiotics because they got nothing else to throw at us. And that's what destroys your good bacteria, which makes you sicker every time. Never use antibiotics unless you're in a life-threatening situation or they will put you in one. I took Harvoni to treat Hep C and it is gone. Get a little foggy brain? Well, yeah, because it's a toxic drug. And even though it might knock out the virus, it didn't get rid of it. It knocked it down. It's just like chemo. Does it get rid of the cancer or does it knock it down? We do know that there's only a 2.3 success record after 5 years with chemo, right? So drugs are drugs. They don't heal. They suppress or they push things away for a while. Can you suggest anything? I'm on a fixed income, so it is hard to buy the proper foods. Please, any info would be nice. Okay, so you can believe this or not. I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. I've been working all day. It's 20 after 4. And today I've had one blender drink, and I drank about maybe 3 quarts of water with some fulvic in it. I did ionic calcium twice. I did my Sononium minerals. I did the SON formula, and I did some ATP, and I did some carbon 60, but I haven't eaten any other food. So what I do is try to bring in high vibrational things. Just think, if you stop buying all that junk food and you stop buying things that weren't good for you, you'd find out you had enough money to eat really well, to actually live really well. You know, people that are in the most toxic shape are the ones that eat the most toxic foods. And guess what? Junk foods are expensive, right? Lisa, doctor, I started a regimen of vitamins. Hopefully, it's not vitamins, girl, it's minerals. And that's why we created the Sononium mineral. It is our Sononium mineral product has 167 nutrients in it. It's got all your minerals, antioxidants, and vitamins all in one thing. Hopefully to assist revitalizing my cartilage. What do you recommend? Well, I don't know what's going on. This could be a knee problem. I would do, if I had a knee problem, I'd be using DMSO. I would be using DMSO gel or DMSO rose cream. The gel is stronger than the rose cream, and I'd be using DMSO on the area where the cartilage is damaged. I would also be putting on Pain Away, okay, or Muscle Restore. They're essential oils that we have. These are them here, see? Okay. Also, just so you know, everybody, we have the highest quality of frankincense, I believe, in the world, and it's a bottle this size. It's $195, go figure. And this is Egyptian glass. You're not going to find that anywhere, okay? I've been making oils, our own oils, Doc of Detox oils, since I was 28 years old, all right? I don't make them. The person who actually makes my oils, he's 82 years old, and he's taught his son how to do it. So understand, so you want to use good essential oils like the Muscle Restore, the Pain Away, and you want to use the DMSO, but you also want to do things like even skin brushing around the area to get the circulation going. But the biggest thing that help is clapping, okay? And if you go to my library, go look at Clapping for Health and then get yourself a clapper. In the new year, Sean's working on it right now, right, Sean?
That's right.
We have a 2-hour. It's going to be amazing. If you watch if you go to the A to Z Masterclass and you watch the 2-hour video that shows you how you don't have to go to surgery and how the issues in your tissues were caused by your brain, that's 2 hours long. You'll see that Sean is a professional videographer, film guy. I don't know what you call him, movie star. Okay. So anyways, now he's working on the Clapping for Life, right, video. And it's about an hour and a half, and we're putting lots of stuff in it. And once you watch this, you're going to find out that clapping, you can unleash the power. You know, I have people that have bought a clapper, and you can get this on my website under equipment. And guess what? These same people, you know what they're saying? I am so depressed, I'm suicidal. And I say, get yourself a clapper. And I teach them how to start clapping. You can start off by watching the video, how to clap your lungs and heart for health. And guess what? Dr. Wolfe, what? Dr. Wolfe, guess what? What? I don't want to kill myself. That's right, because you're releasing all that pain that you've been storing in your body, and it's coming to the surface. And I'll go, hey, how badly did you bruise when you did your heart area? Oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, the whole arm just went black and blue. I said, good for you, because that's the poison. You don't actually bruise yourself. The bruising comes to the surface, and the bruising is what? My heart is broken. I can't take it anymore. My life is full of pain. I just want to suppress it. And then guess what? You start clapping and it comes to the surface and you start to wake up. Hey, slap yourself. No, clap yourself. There it is. Okay? You can check that stuff out. Carol, what can I do for breast treatment as well as Crohn's? Well, there you go. Believe it or not, you know, Crohn's is like a leaky gut, autoimmune disease, where it's like in your small intestine. It's like a screen door in a submarine where everything is just going into the blood supply, and it's going in, and it's backing up onto the lymph. And then guess what? Then you get lymph node problems, and then you get breast problems. what I would suggest you do is jump into the library and go watch the A to Z first 2 hours, like I said, in the A to Z Wellness Guide, and then go take a look at, we have a video in there and it says breast therapy technique. And I tell you what we do with women who have breast problems. And if you have a breast problem, then you definitely want to get a consultation, okay? You do. You want to get a consult. You know, I'll tell you, we have somebody coming here every week, and sometimes two families, or maybe it's two set of couples, but they come here for personal treatment and training. We teach them how to do the body work, the Wolfe Non-Surgical, so they can work on each other. They don't need any therapists anymore, do they? We teach them on what a proper diet is, and whatever their condition is, we build them those strategies. Let me tell you something. The day that you start thinking that treatments suck and that training is the only way to go, then you'll have the life that they said that you could have, because you're not dumb. You got dumb beliefs. Real dumb. Somebody else is going to save you. Somebody's going to change you. Somebody's going to be there for you. Nobody's going to be there for you. I can't be there for you, but I'm here right now, but I'm not going to be here in a few minutes. And definitely I've got information that I know that you could change your life, but I'm not going to heal you. Nobody can heal you. You can only heal yourself. I can bring up your spirits, but how long can you lift somebody up? My God, I get to let my arms down sometimes, right? You got to lift yourself up. That's why it's called self-love, self-care. And it starts there, because you can't give what you're not. So I don't care. And don't anybody be ranting on me on YouTube or Facebook, because I'll ban you from the castle. I'm done with people who say that loving yourself is a sin. Seriously. So we were created in the image of God, which is beyond love, but we're not supposed to totally love ourselves. Please, give it up. Just give it up. Can't do it. And that's why we're in this damn mess right now. Because understand something. Dysfunctional beliefs, okay, create fearful people. I have no fear. Okay, Alicia, what to do about stage 4 melanoma cancer? Get a consult, sweetie. Everybody, this is skin cancer. And I'm going to tell you something right now. We have a product that's called Magenta, Amazing Magenta C60, made out of coconut oil. You want to use that on the skin cancer. What else do you want to do? You want to use also DMSO, like I just talked about. You also want to use things like frankincense on there. Okay, but understand something. The skin is just the mirror of the large intestine. So your large intestine is messed up. Let me tell you something. You don't have a melanoma because you got a skin problem. You got melanoma because you had a bowel problem that backed up on the liver, backed up into the lymph system, and now your body's going, look, if you don't get the cork out of her butt, and if you don't change the oil in the filter, which is the liver, okay, then guess what? It's only going to get worse, because your skin is the last stage, just like it's either your kidneys or your skin that take on the brunt of the action. So now we don't have a lot of the toxic poop coming out of your butt. So now it gets to come out of your skin. Are you with me yet? Okay, well, what do you think psoriasis is, eczema is? Well, that's a bowel problem, okay? What do you think melanoma is? Well, that's a cancer, and that's showing how toxic you are inside. So we can treat it externally and we can treat it internally. Alicia, if you want to call me, my extension is 5. I'll tell you which consultant that I would send you to. I'll send you to my assistant. And she'll do it. And understand, everybody, I'm the one that goes through the case history with every consultant that we have. And we're here to help you. Okay? Believe it or not, I'm all called up with my phone calls, with all my questions. And if you go into my library and you take really massive action and you go in there and you go, I'm going to do at least an hour and a half every day, and I'm going to go into that library and I'm going to know it. Understand something. If you really think that the systems out there care for you, man, you're so delusional. You're so delusional. You just keep sitting on that couch and waiting for the phone call to ring that Superman's coming. Okay? All right. Good. Denise, can you recommend what products of yours can help with osteopenia? Okay. Well, the best one is actually Merigen, and that's the most expensive. And if not that, I would go with Cardigan, which is half the price. And this is, if you go to my library, go to the calcium ion therapy guide, and then get ready to be amazed. It's the only product like it on the market. You know, I had somebody call me up the other day, and he goes, well, I saw ionic calcium on Amazon for $40. And I said, well, then go and do it. And he goes, well, isn't it the same? And I go, no, this is invisible. This is actually, it's in a liquid form, but these are actually ions of calcium. When you were younger, right up to around 25 or 30, you made enough ions out of your calcium to break bone and make bone, and that's why you didn't have any problem. As the human growth hormone starts to deplete and we become more acidic, we don't make those ions anymore. So we start breaking calcium and we don't get it back into our bones. I'm going to tell you one thing right now. This product here will totally restore your bones. Will totally restore your bones. I've had people that have osteoporosis so bad they've been on Fosamax. Their bones are crumbling. They're in their 80s. And within 9 months to a year on this product, they have the bone structure of a 30, 40-year-old. Healthy one. Healthy one. You don't have to believe me. Go in and take a look at all the testimonials. Go take a look at all the shows we did. We did tons of shows proving the science. This product's so good, we're not allowed to put it on our shop. You have to go into my library, you do your research, and then you got to call us, and then we can sell it to you. Now, why is that? Because it's hurting people? No, because the FDA was told to come after us, and if we put it in our store, they said they'll take our website down. So there's nothing toxic about it. It's only the most amazing product in probably the last 75 years. So we have to play hide and seek. Isn't that something? Go figure. Yeah. So understand, this is planet Earth. It's a fun-filled, life-threatening game that you will win if you know the rules. Okay? All right. Also for osteopenia, take a look. It's all about acidity. Okay? And every time you stress out. Okay, so you got to learn how to bring your stress levels down. You got to learn how to hydrate with structured water, get on a whole plant-based diet, check out the Perfect Day Guide, and start doing our exercises. Okay, so if you take a look at the DIY guide in my library, go look at the exercises, length and strength and detox and tone with Doc of Detox exercises, because you got to open things up, not contract them more and make your body like a fist, because your circulation is going to go down further. Okay? Stop doing things that make you into an acid queen, Denise. Okay? All right. Again, I'm going to say, get a consult. Margie, what do you recommend for adrenaline stress? Well, for one thing, I would recommend that you look at first the 4 pillars, okay, of emotions, which is get yourself Braveheart Love Band. It says Braveheart 3, 2, 1, I got this. In the actually in the military, they tell you, when you start thinking about your family and somebody's shooting at you, you're supposed to count backwards, 3, 2, 1, to get you back into your conscious mind before you get your brain blown off, right? So what we do is we go 3, 2, 1, I got this. And this Braveheart Love Band. They're only 50 cents each. And order yourself like 10 or 20, 30. Give them to your friends, right? You can get them in purple and white, black and white, or white and black. And every time, this is a hug, snug is a hug, this is a kiss, and every time I do this, listen, I can feel it, I can see it, and I can hear it. And I'm putting my whole self into this, right? So anyways, I can kiss myself in public, I can love myself in public, thank you very much, and I'm going to anyway. And if I think of a thought like, Darrell, you're an idiot, I'll go, no, I'm not. That's the old me. I love and approve of myself. I love and approve of myself. Let me tell you something. The reason why they got everybody wearing masks and coming on to me, giving me dirty looks, telling me that I'm poisoning people when I'm just out walking around. I mean, did you know that I was up at Big White skiing? And up at Big White skiing, we've got people out skiing by themselves with double masks on. Double masks, okay? And the virus doesn't even exist. Yes, it exists, but not the virus they're talking about, the killer one. It doesn't exist. And I know you're going, there's people on here right now that somehow they got onto this show and they're going, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's dangerous. Well, guess what? You're dangerous. You're the dangerous one. All right? You're the dangerous one, because you can't give me any science to prove that they even isolated the virus. You can't give me any science to prove that the PCR test even works. You can't give me any science about any of this. You just got a few trillionaire billionaires that decided that they've had enough of us. And then there's some kind of species on this planet that's always been here, and it's just time to harvest us. I mean, this is the 6th go-around for this planet. We can't seem to get it right and love ourselves and love each other, can we? And that's because there's some kind of species that crawled from hell that's always enslaved us. Tell me that you think that we're totally free. Oh yeah, we're so free. We pay taxes that never ever go towards what they should. There's never any money, but now we can keep everybody on the couch and tell them that they're going to die of the cold and flu and give them $500 a week so that they stay in here so they can put the 5G towers up and they can start getting ready to track and trace us, okay? Because we are the herd, aren't we? Yeah, whatever. So anyways, don't really care what people think anymore because they're not thinking. That's right. They're not thinking. Okay? I don't care. Somebody go and find me 1,000 people and I'll bring them into my home and we'll have a wild party and we'll all dance around and I want them all to have snotty noses. Okay? I will walk out of there with not a snotty nose. Thank you very much. You do not catch a virus. Okay, I'm done. Rant's over. Karen, would you please tell me how to lower my alkaline phosphatase? I'm already plant-based. It's stress. It's stress. That's why. And I would tell you to also do the ultimate coffee enema. Okay? So you can see here, there's the coffee. And I would do the ultimate coffee enema using what's called tummy love and some black gold. And then you'll see you'll be able to lower that. And also by doing the ionic calcium therapy, go into my library and let's really start balancing your pH properly. Okay? But you know what? If you want to give me a call tomorrow, and if I can't answer it, I'll call you back. But you know what? There's something not right here. Okay? So call me and it won't take me long and we'll figure it out. All right? Okay. How's that? And anybody else too, if you would like to be and come on to what we call a doc demo, I will never mention more than your first name. Eh, Sean?
That's true.
Don't have to show your face. Whatever you have and the problem you have, so do millions of other people. And then all you'd be doing is helping them. If you'd like to come on and you want to do that, they can contact you, right? Sean at Doc of Detox.
Sean Gordon.
Why do you do that?
I didn't do it. They gave me that.
Okay, well, get rid of the Gordon thing.
I'm doing my best.
People can't, they can't use two names. It just blows them away.
I know. I got to talk to Tara about it.
Okay, all right. So anyways, you can do that or you can call me on extension 5 and say you'd like to come on and do a doc demo. You know what this is all about? This isn't about trying to get more people to spend more money here, right? You do understand that when I just did the doc demo for the lady with her daughter with the tumor, did we talk about product or did we talk about real life? So let's get that perfectly clear. And don't mess with me, any of you tyrants that want to come on. Don't mess with me. Okay, because there's always like 4 or 5 after every show that thinks that you're going to rattle my cage. Well, let me tell you something. If you get nasty or you just come on because, you know what, you just don't like something I said, I'll ban you from the castle. Because you're not going to come on and try to, you know what we try to do when we don't like what people say because it doesn't match our beliefs. And it's not like I'm hurting anyone, is it? But what we do is like, I'll get him. I'll show him. You can't show me anything. If you haven't got love in your heart, you want to challenge me? Come on my show. Come on my show and challenge me. Don't be a gutless chicken. Come on my show and challenge me on the things I say. I would just love it. But don't dare come on and think that you can get nasty on my Facebook and I'm not going to ban you for life because I'll do it because guess what? I'm not here to try to change people. I'm here to try to help people find their authentic self. When you're totally in love with yourself, wouldn't that be a beautiful place to be? Yeah. Think about it. Tanya, hi, Dr. Wolfe. I've been using your tea and tummy love for 3 days now, and I have to say thank you so much. I'm already feeling better than I have in years. I have lots of questions, but one that doctor cannot answer. I keep having bad pains under my right breast. Okay, so did you ever wear a bra with a wire? Because if you wore a bra with a wire for even 1 year, you'll have scar tissue under here. And understand, that wire is like, what do we have on our roof? We can put an antenna on our roof, right? Or what do you think we got in every cell phone? An antenna. And it picks up every phone call. So your bra was picking up every phone call, okay? And now your breast has every phone call logged in under your breast. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you live near us, you come in and we'll do a live show. You don't have to take your clothes off. And I'm going to work and I'm going to release that scar tissue. And even if you didn't have a wire in your bra, some reason you've got scar tissue in here and that's all you're feeling. Everybody, you know what? We will sit with years for pain and we'll take drugs and we'll go to the doctor for this and this and this until it's big enough. They won't cut it. And understand, you can come to us and I'll give you a money back guarantee. You got any pain in your body and we can't bring that pain down by at least 80%. It's free. So don't give me anything. It's scar tissue, displaced calcium, or crystallization. That's all it is. It's not a mystery. And you know what? Are you getting a little sick and tired how health is a mystery? Oh my God, we can't figure it out. Dude, we just can't figure out the cure for that. Oh, I'm sure you can't, you moron. Let me tell you something. These doctors that have gone to school for 10 and 20 years, I'm not calling them morons, but anyways, let me tell you this. Did you ever notice something? They don't have any answers. They just have drugs. They're not telling you how you can take your life back. Okay, you know what? I'm not upset. The reality is guess what? Why do I get like a drama queen king? Why do I do that? Well, because you don't understand that it's scar tissue crystallization and calcium, displaced calcium, and you have the power to heal yourself. Isn't it kind of funny? Everybody, pretty well, almost the whole world goes to the same therapy and everybody gets the same crappy results, but we keep doing it. Now, you're going to tell me that we are intelligent? Please, don't. We could be if we had intelligent beliefs. And you're not stupid because understand something. You've been programmed to be dumbed down. Okay. Keep having bad pains under my right breast. It's like something cramping or balling up real tight and it drops me. She's got guess what you call it, a trigger point. And what she's got about a scar tissue this long, okay? And it's about this wide. And in 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, it's gone. Oh my God, Dr. Wolfe, you're such a miracle worker. No, I'm not. The world of natural health and medical is so watered down. I mean, go to a chiropractor, go to a physiotherapist, go to a massage therapist, and take them my A to Z video or my article, and they're going to go, oh my God, I didn't know this. No, they don't. They don't know that it's a scar tissue issue. They don't know that it's a crystallization issue. They don't know that it's a displaced calcium issue. And guess what? Unless you're melting the crystallization, unless you're turning the scar tissue back into connective tissue, and don't you dare tell me it's bone on bone in the hip or the knee or the ankle, because it's not. And it actually will grow back. Did you know that? Oh my God. Who created you? There you go. I gave you a clue. Okay? Like something cramping or balling up real tight and it drops me. I have to stretch backwards to try to release it. Yes, you do, because it's a scar tissue knot and she's trying to pull the fibers apart so she gets more circulation because the knot is pushing on a nerve between her ribs. Oh my God, what a genius I am, right? No. I'll tell you something right now. How's this for cocky? And you can take this to the bank. I will come up against any therapist that has been in practicing for 20 or 30 years, and I will teach somebody for 11 days how to do my body work, and I promise you then I want you 20, 30, 40 years, and I'll tell you, you can't fix them, you send them to that person that I've only taught for 11 days, and they will. So understand something, all right? You cannot get and tighten the screw with a hammer, all right? So it's all about the power of the therapy and logic. And we are not logical. People need to be logical. There's no logic left anymore. Okay. I have to stretch backwards to try to release it. I can feel it unfolding and moving with my hand. Yes, you can. It's scar tissue, girl. And guess what? Go to every doctor. Go to every brilliant surgeon. Well, I don't know. I just don't know. It's a mystery. We can't figure it out. Go to a physio. They'll try to stretch it, and then it'll just come right back as soon as you get stressed out. Go to a massage therapist and they'll use their hands and their fingers and they'll soften it up. Go to a chiropractor and he'll say, well, it might be a rib out. Let me see if I can get it back. Until you get rid of the scar tissue issue, it's not going anywhere. And I already told you, I just need 5 minutes. No one can answer this for me. It happens when I laugh. That's right, because when she laughs, she takes or sneezes, she takes in more oxygen. She expands her lungs, and that scar tissue doesn't want to expand. So then when she goes to do that, it pushes on here, and she's got more pain. It's not rocket science, guys. You know what? I invented this technique, and I'm actually going to get from my brother Marcel. He's going to send me. And I have, those VCR big tapes, those big VCR tapes. I'm going to be putting on my website, International Training Institute of Health, and show people that I've been around. I'm going to show you video where I had suspenders on, and I had this mullet haircut, and I was like 27 years old when I shot this video, and I was already teaching this. So I've been around since 27, 65, and understand, I still had the most powerful training, and the most powerful technique back when I was 27. Now I've taught thousands of people, and we've had families come here from all over the world continually every week. And I'm the guy that offers the money back guarantee. So not only do I have a big mouth, but I have a big pocket too, don't I? So the reality is I don't have a big mouth. I'm telling you that everything out there is watered down. Therapy is watered down. You can continually try to push a joint into place. It's only going to pop out because the tendons and the ligaments have dehydrated from the adrenaline and the histamine and the cortisol, and from an inflamed mind and an inflamed diet. So what happens is just like, you know what? What does that do? Inflammation does what? It burns up things. It dehydrates the tendons, the ligaments, the tendons, the muscles. And guess what? You can take a muscle that's an inch thick and you can get it to go right down to a quarter of an inch. And that's the same fibers still in there. You didn't lose any. It's dehydrated like beef jerky. And then it shortens itself because anything that's dehydrated shortens. Go get a piece of leather and dehydrate it. It shortens. Come on, look at beef jerky. You go to get beef jerky and it's about 1/8 of an inch, maybe a little bigger than 1/8 of an inch. That used to be 1 inch until they dehydrated. Welcome to your world. Isn't grandpa as stiff as a board? Oh my God, I feel like I'm getting old. Oh, I can't do that anymore. I can do everything that I could do when I was in my 20s. Understand something. It's a scar tissue issue. That's what premature aging is. And understand, when you take a look at a person that the average person of 50, I don't want to be them. I don't want to be the average person that's 40, and I'm going to be 65. So when I'm 75, I'm still going to be way better than the average 40-year-old that's being poisoned. The day that you decide you want to love yourself well, your whole family's going to be going, oh, we're not good enough for you anymore? Oh my God, you're so self-centered. And they're all been programmed to derail you from loving yourself, because they don't. Hey, when you were younger, or even when you're older, if people are drinking alcohol, try to sit at the table without them trying to shove a drink in your face. Try to do that with somebody who's trying to have a toke. Try to get, and you want to eat right and sit with your family. They're not going to let you, are they? No, you're coming where we're coming. You're not breaking away from the herd. All right. What it could be, no one can answer this for me. Of course, it's the mystery that has escaped all medical system and natural health care for thousands of years. Maybe we need to go to the pyramids and unlock this story. I don't know. It happens when I laugh hard, or I sneeze, or I bend too much. Yeah, because beef jerky doesn't stretch. It's not elastic. It's not pliable. It's brittle. That's right. So you feel brittle. I don't wear a wire bra either. Oh, good. But the reality is she still got scar tissue there. Okay. Anyways, take a look at it. I would look at doing some clapping. I would look at doing some clapping around the area. Just lift up the breast, clap underneath it. But I would get to a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist. I don't know where you live, but if you give me a call, my extension is 5. I'll do whatever I can for you. And if you live in the area that we are here, come on, and I'll show everybody that I'll get rid of it, that problem, in 5 minutes. It won't even take me 5 minutes, because understand something. God created us Healing yourself is easy when you love yourself well. Sharon, can the calcification of the mesh implant cement be dissipated? It's very difficult. No, you've got a foreign object in there. It's always going to be pulling calcium into the area because it causes a lot of inflammation and scar tissue formation. Now, here's the deal. Once you have mesh, you better get your act together, because you'll find that you'll have more tumors. You'll tear out beside the mesh, okay, and it will cause more scar tissue like a block around the area. And it will actually cause you, if it's a inguinal one, you'll probably have trouble making love, bladder infections. You'll probably get endometriosis. You'll definitely have problems peeing and pooing, unless you're on a whole plant-based diet and you know somebody, and you're going to do clapping around the area to keep the circulation up. Anyways, yeah. If not, how long after surgery can the mesh be worked with? Well, when all the tenderness is gone. But, okay, the big deal with the mesh, especially in inguinal hernia, is that your bowels have to move properly. To make sure you're doing daily cleansing tea. Everybody in the world should be doing it morning and night and never stopping, and doing at least some tummy love and a little bit of black gold. Your digestive tract is the highway of life, and your large intestine is the mother of all organs, and 85% of your immune system's in your large intestine. Why in the heck can't we look after it every morning and every night and spend as much as we would on a cup of coffee? Because why? Because you're brainwashed. Because if you go to the hospital, you can look like you're 9 months pregnant and you can be a male, and they won't even talk about your big tummy. Meanwhile, you're rotting out. And that with every disease that we have, whether it's in our head or in our toes or in between there, that tissue is rotting. Did you get it? Disease means rotten tissue, rotten blood, congested lymph. So, Carmen, is C60 good to protect us against 5G? Absolutely. And so is structured water. So is the bodyguard, and turning off your Wi-Fi at night, and making sure your cell phone is on airplane mode. And yeah, but guess what? I've got Magda Havas coming, and I already told you when she's coming. I think it's 2 weeks, right? About 2 weeks. And she is the most intelligent person about 5G and electronic smog, okay?
She's a doctor too, right?
Yes, she is. She's a doctor too. Bree, my daughter had fevers, sore throat, and headache. Well, look at her bowels, okay? Because when you get a fever, your body goes, we've got to go and boil this infection off. Now, where do you think the infection comes from? Let me see. Comes from the bowel. So if you get a child that has a fever, and even a baby, and you do even just use a little rectal syringe with some warm water and maybe a little bit of fulvic bright eyes and a little bit of silver in there, and you were to do I do an ear syringe. I've done an ear syringe on a baby that's only 2 weeks old that couldn't poo. And we do a little ear syringe and put a little bit of warm water, a little bit of fulvic bright eyes, a little bit of silver in there, and then we just put it in gently, and then we take its little legs and go like this, and then and wait till you see what comes out. All this mucoid, and baby's like smiling, and he's got color back, and same thing with an adult. Okay, you only get a fever because your body has to turn up the burner to boil off the infection, the inflammation. I don't get fevers. You get fevers when you're toxic. You get a sore throat, okay, when your bowel's jammed up. You get a headache when you're dehydrated and acidic. There you go. For about a year, she would get it every first of the month. Yeah, well, what about her period? I already told you. You want to have the worst period of your life? Then just let your bowels be sluggish. There you go. And you'll never have a bad period if your bowels are working properly. End of story. And I will debate that with anybody, anytime on this show. Get the cork out of your butt. Bring down the inflammation and the infection in the pelvic area, so when the blood comes down, to bring down the worst toxins, because in case you get pregnant, it wants loving in the oven, so it wants to bring down the toxic load every month. Why do you think a woman lives longer than a man? Why can she handle more pain? Because of her period. It is the golden gem. So now all those toxins are coming down, but you're already sluggish in your large intestine and absorbing poo particles and fecal waste and liquid. You are. That's what autoimmune disease is. Leaky gut. What do you think it is? You couldn't have a pelvic inflammation or cysts on your ovaries or a bladder problem or a prostate problem or scar tissue in your fallopian tubes if you weren't pooping in your pelvis. So the reality is if we're toxic in our pelvis and the blood comes down every month to get rid of the toxic blood, there's too much pressure in here. So then you've got to burn off the infection. So then you get the fever. Then you get the sore throat. And understand something, a sore throat is actually, if you take a look, there's a blockage around the cecum, which is the beginning of the large intestine. How am I doing? Okay, we got nowhere with the doctors. We ended up going to a naturopath doctor who told us to stop gluten. That's good. And understand, because when you do gluten, what gluten does, okay, especially from wheat, when you do that, it goes in, and gluten looks like a bug to your body. It goes to attack the gluten thinking it's a bug. So wherever the gluten is, you're going to be attacked. So get off the gluten. I agree. But don't eat bread, gluten-free bread. I mean, you might as well go eat a piece of cardboard, okay? I mean, what a waste of money. Just go eat whole grains, ancient grains. She enjoys eating a lot of fruits and some vegetables, but other than that, she's extremely challenging with food. Oh my God. She has dark circles under her eyes, which is she's been piling up poop in her pelvis, backing up her liver. So now to have dark circles means that your liver is congested and you're pooping in your bloodstream, because here is the thinnest part of the skin in the human body. And when you get dark circles, it means that your blood is low in oxygen, it's acidic, you're pulling tons of calcium from your bones, okay? And it means that you need to get the cork out of your bum. And it's quite small for her age. Well, there's a lot going on here, girl. I mean, you don't think you're going to develop properly when your body is taking all the energy to try to keep you alive from how toxic you are. I find that she is very emotional. Well, you would be too. Okay, let me tell you something. How do you feel after a hangover? Are you fun to be with after with a hangover, Sean?
Well, that depends. No, but quick answer.
Well, is anybody fun to be with who has a hangover?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, your daughter has a hangover. Remember something, whether you're hungover because you did alcohol poisoning or you're hungover because you're absorbing your own waste, you're not going to be fun to be with, okay? Understand, I'm not moody, okay? I don't get depressed, okay? And I don't have anxiety. So understand something, the more that you get control of your mind and your body, the better your life is, the more fun you have, and it becomes an adventure. So I would suggest that you might want to break the budget and get your daughter a nutritional and emotional consultation. And I'll tell you, we'll be your cheerleader. So if you want our help, is there anything you recommend to give her to help her thrive more? Well, first of all, get her on the daily cleansing tea. This is a year's supply. I'm just showing it to you. Get her on the daily cleansing tea. Get her on the Tummy Love. Tummy Love. It tastes good. Doesn't taste bad. And get her on the Black Gold, and go take a look at the Perfect Day Diet and make her a blender drink of strawberries and oat milk or almond milk. And you could even throw in 1 or 2 raw organic free-range eggs. I'm telling you, it's the way to go. And see if you can get her to eat a large salad every day. And if she would drink the water that she needs, which is 3/4 of an ounce for every pound you are. And if it could be structured water has the lowest surface tension, so it will deliver the nutrients and detoxify a person much faster than any other known water. Okay? That's where I would start, and then see if you can get her to take a look at the Perfect Day Diet. Go into the 4 Pillars Guide in the Doc of Detox library. Okay? She is 6. Thank you. She is 6. She is 6. Wow, Mom, you're the one that needs to do the consultation. Okay. And I'm not picking on you, but you're the one that needs to do the consult because she's 6 years old and you're the one that's buying the foods, and these aren't the right foods. And understand, when you're 6 years old, you got to get something. Do you remember when you were 6 years old? I can remember when I was 6 years old and I didn't want to talk to my parents about the things that were really bothering me because my parents were already bothered and I didn't want them to get rid of me. Okay? All right? So, you might want to just ask her what her high was today. What was your low? What would you like to talk about? when I was your age, when I was 6 years old, I felt this, I did this. And when I was 6, sometimes, even though there was people in the house, I felt like I was alone. I had no one to talk to. I want you to open up and tell me everything, because I already was 6 years old. I was already 7 years old. And so by the time you're 7, I can give you a lot of tips so that you can have more fun. How would you like that? Okay. All right. Wow. Let me see. Where was I here? Okay. Jonah, this is the last one, guys. I only made it to 13. That means that I still have another 30. No, 13 would be. I got 27 left here, and I got another 20, and we'll try to do them all tomorrow. Now, but we won't do as long of a demo, will we? No. Yeah. Because Sean, I don't want to get into it, but if he's not home on time, there's the doghouse for him. Okay, Jonah. What are your thoughts on the consumption of coffee? Well, understand, organic coffee and no more than a cup a day. And if you're doing more, then you don't have the energy you need, okay? And do not do your coffee until you do 1 liter, 1 quart of hot water first thing in the morning, okay? All right? Seriously. And if you have tummy love or fulvic concentrate or humic concentrate, you should be putting that into that 1 quart, 1 liter of water and make it hot, and then tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. It will just open up everything. It'll help your bowels move more. It'll get everything going. And you know what? If I took a cup of water and it was cold and I needed to clean something, would I? What if I took a liter or a quart of water and it was hot? It would clean it, wouldn't it? So go in there and do that cleaning. Because you may not know this, but actually from 6 o'clock in the morning, okay? No, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, okay, until noon, we're in heavy detoxification. And then we get from 12 noon until 8. Well, okay, I'm all butt backwards here. Early in the morning, okay, until about 10 o'clock, we're in detox. So if you were to do the hot water, you really want to flush things out, open things up. How's that? Okay? There's 3 cycles. I won't go into them now. But there's 3 cycles, right? There's detoxification, right? There's digestion, and then assimilation. And they're all 8-hour programs, right? So from 12 until 8, you've got digestion. From 8 until 4 in the morning, you've got assimilation. From 4 in the morning until noon, right? Yeah, that's right. Until noon, okay, you've got detoxification. But mainly from 4 until 8 is the heavier detox time when you really want to dump that toxic load. So that's why we do the hot water. Let me see here. I'm going to do one more, 14. Okay, bud? Yvette, will your body work method help with scoliosis? It most times it'll turn it around. So understand something. We have had people where we had one little girl here. She was 5 years old, and she had a C curve. And her parents came here from Saudi Arabia, and we taught her parents how to do the Wolfe Non-Surgical. They were here for 6 days. And actually, that little girl, what they wanted to do was build a plastic cover for her back. And then they were going to build one as she grew for the rest of her life and keep her as a C curve. Are you like out of your skull? Okay. And understand something. Anybody that has scoliosis out there, every time you get stressed, every time you're fearful, every time you eat an inflammatory diet or have inflammatory thoughts, your scoliosis gets worse. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to lengthen and strengthen and detox and tone your spine. And with that spine being curved, you're not getting the right information from your pelvis, because most of the information to your brain is actually collected in your abdomen and your pelvis and goes up through your coccyx into your spinal column, into the spinal fluid, because your spinal fluid has more light and more information and more communication than anything else in your body that goes to your brain to talk to your brain. So if you had a curve, you're not going to communicate as good. And yes, we can turn scoliosis around. Do you really want to? Because if you do, and understand, does the world really want to turn it around? Do they want to turn it around? Do they want to turn around any diseases, or do they just want to give you drugs and surgery? Okay? Or do you want somebody to massage you and make you feel better for a couple hours? Or do you want to go in and take the scar tissue and pull the fibers apart lovingly so that the blood, the lymph, and the invisible energy can flow? And guess what happens when that happens? As soon as you pull this apart and you can get the flow back in here, this scar tissue turns back into connective tissue. I don't care where you're talking about in the body. The longer you have the scoliosis, the worse it's going to get. So when you're done with everyone else, then you can come to Dr. Quack. And guess what? And then you can let us start talking like nobody talks. You can let us start doing therapy like nobody does. And then I'll tell you, I'll give you a money-back guarantee on the treatment. Okay? How's that? So let me see here. Is the body work permanent? Well, no. Let me put it to you this way. Can I take enough oxygen in for the rest of my life? If I eat well today, is that going to be good for the rest of my life? If I love myself solid for one day, is that good for the rest of my life? I'll tell you what's good for the rest of my life. Learning in the perfect day from the minute you wake up until you go to bed on an emotional and physical level. And that I can guarantee you. Are you willing to wanting to love yourself? Because believe it or not, scoliosis is a twist, isn't it? Isn't it a twist? And remember what I said? I said that everything starts from the mind before it goes into the body. So twisted thoughts could give a twisted spine. And then you're going to go, yeah, but my daughter was born with scoliosis. And then I'm going to tell you, yeah, how was the pregnancy? How was your relationship with yourself? And how was your relationship with your husband? And what type of vaccinations, what type of drugs were you on during that time when you were pregnant? What kind of hell did you go through? Because understand, if you got twisted because of toxic things going on, so did she, so did he. Understand something. This is the deal, and I want everybody to understand this. And then I'm done for today, ranting and raving and all that stuff I do. Here it is. Man, when your girlfriend, your wife, your partner gets pregnant, it is your job to open up your heart and to love her well and to not terrorize her about money, to not terrorize her about how hard you work, and to be there for her and to let her know that she's beautiful. So you need to get rid of all your dysfunction, men, because when you terrorize your wife and she's pregnant, you're doing some real damage to that baby. But here's the deal. Women, you've been saddled with the biggest job. God bless you, and I mean that. Do not let men terrorize you. Do not let family terrorize you. Do not let anyone terrorize you. Find a peaceful place and know that everything's going to be okay. You've got to love yourself when you're pregnant, because I'm going to tell you something. Every time that you have anxiety, every time you have fear, sadness, all of that emotion, you are so connected to what's growing inside. This is not about judgment. This is about just observation. You know what, guys? You may not believe this, but you need more than a dick to be a dad. You need more than a dick to bring a child into this world. And guess what? Don't get me wrong, though, guys. Nobody is getting trained on how to love themselves or love anyone else on this planet, because we were already schooled and fooled from the minute we got here by these people, these elite psychos. You are not taught how to love yourself when you get here. Your parents, they don't mind. When you're young, you can throw up, poop all night, scream all night. They're there for you. When you start to walk and talk like mommy and daddy, it all changes. That unconditional love is usually over. So there's the problem. Until we learn to have unconditional love for ourselves and everyone else. But don't think that, by the way, that I can have unconditional love for the whole world, but that doesn't mean I'm going to hang out with anyone that's a terrorist. That doesn't mean that I'm going to hang out with people that are unconsciously trying to kill themselves and other people. It's not happening. So the reality is all I want to say is this. We are bringing little spirits into this world. And understand something. Almost every child will say, my life has been pretty tough. even when I was younger. My father had addictions. My mother had addictions. And it's because, guess what? They were corrupted by these evil bastards out here. Oh, you know who they are. And they know who they are. But guess what? If you talk to Bill Gates, he'll tell you that he's doing this for the betterment of everyone. Right? Okay. So anyways, I just want to tell you that you are beautiful and you are only limited by your beliefs. And you just start working on loving you. Well, if you're not loving you, you must be hating you. There's only two major emotions on this planet. So either get into loving you or be like everyone else. And you'll say, oh, I don't really hate myself. I just don't like myself a lot. And I'll go, there's no such thing. It's either hate or love. But you wouldn't know it because everybody else is doing the same thing. So a guy like me, okay, can be called, self-centered, right? Well, I do center into myself because I am not, hurt people, and I'm not going to hurt my family. And I'm not going to hurt people. I'm going to take responsibility for the emotions and the mood that I have. And I'm going to stay in the present moment, and I am going to hold the line. And I'll hold the line for myself, and I'll hold the line as much as I can for you. But understand something. You're the hero you've been looking for. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow morning. You are the power you seek. If you're looking for life-saving and life-changing information, well, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Stay connected.